Okay, I'm caught up. So I'm glad y'all brought that up. It was something that Global Passport mentioned that I want to discuss. Um, and I know he don't want to speak on it, but it needs to be discussed. It really does. What is the issue with the dick policing, man, from other guys, man? This has to be addressed, bro.
Yes,
Look at
yes.
the look on his
Look,
face.
I was about to ask the same thing. I was about to ask the same thing. You
You
know, because
know,
you don't even see it with the foreign guys. You would think they'd be the ones that hate it, but it's the American guys that are hated. It's
Man,
crazy.
you know,
the foreign guys are cool. Like I'm like, man, from what I see, I'm like, this is crazy, bro. I don't get it. I be thinking to myself like, I'm like, the stuff people send me, Andre. I'm just like, for real. He was
What are
like,
you doing with your life and your time?
I'm like, oh man, bro.
you know,
I'll let you get dibs on this global passport crew. I
I'm
already know
like this. I could say something, but I don't want to demonetize this show because this show is really critical, and
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
going to
it
behave myself. So,
is.
a lot of them probably doing it for likes, um, for viewership, because you got to be an absolute idiot to speak negatively about guys going overseas to get wives. When I went viral with my video on TikTok, I had some heat from guys, and I'm sitting over there that's like, you have got to be kidding me. So as far as I'm concerned, any man that just disrespects the passport bro movement has automatically revoked his manhood card. As far as I'm concerned, their manhood card is gone. That is just an absolute. There are channels right now, they just spreading lies about us, and like, Andre had said, my viewpoint is more aligned with the passport bros because I'm more or less an international traveler. I'm into just traveling internationally, blogging. That's my thing, and that's a lot of people consider that being a passport bro. But it's stupid. And they don't even come up with an argument. They don't want to come over here and debate the issue. And when they debate the issue, it's just nothing's coming out of their mouth because they use, well, here's one example, and this and that. They don't stick directly to the question. They just try to move the goalposts. There's nothing direct. They don't directly answer the question. They give you an answer to a question, but they don't answer the question. You know what I mean? And that's the problem with these guys. And it's like, overall, no one has any right to shame anybody for the decisions in their life. That is their right. That is their right to make their decision what's happening in their lives. If they want to go, they go. Everybody has a constitutional right to freedom of speech and peaceful assembly. And we're not doing anything wrong here. As far as with this movement, I think we're actually solving problems because with the dating issue right now, we have something that no one has talked about is the violence with incels. Because, the last couple of mass shootings that has happened in this country were caused by incels. Now we have an opportunity to at least solve that problem through the Passport Bro movement by educating them, maybe grooming them up and getting them ready and say, hey, why don't we do something like, hey, take this opportunity, go overseas. Maybe you can find somebody over there that you can link up with and meet and something like that. But yeah, be advised, it's not that easy. Some precautions. You may have to change yourself. You may have to lose weight. You may have to groom yourself, mannerisms and things like that. Go check out these YouTube channels and stuff on that topic. This is a golden opportunity to fix a violent problem because they have been outcast and shamed by women and stuff like that. So so that's an opportunity for us to fix that. But they want to shame that, So I see an opportunity right now to stop a violent act, at least fix this particular portion of mass shootings in the country and stuff like that. I mean, we had one 3 years ago at a mall in Phoenix where a guy came out with an AR-15, shot 3 people, and he was an incel. You know, just, I mean, these are the consequences of when you start playing games and dating where, you know, you crapping on your partners and stuff. And this is where we have gotten in the dating scene in America. So now, guys, we have to go find other alternatives and stuff for happiness. You know, this is my life. You know, if I want something overseas, that's my business, not yours. You know, I don't interfere with. I wanted to say something so bad, I had to catch myself. It was a quote from wrestler Triple H. He said at a news conference many years ago. I don't want to say it. It wasn't nothing profane or anything, but I don't want to say it. But anyway, it's just this dating scene. There's no guys should be out there shaming other guys from going overseas. It's not about game. Well, it's a little bit about game, but it's not really about game or anything. It's our decision if they want to go overseas to find a wife. This is nothing new. This has been going on for decades. You heard Mike give a whole presentation about the whole doggone thing, especially with blacks. So it's nothing new. It's just popping.
I want to catch up with these super chats real quick because I want to touch on something that you said. Vernon DP, $2 super chat says, ask Mike about famous Filipina black couples. Yeah, hold on that because I want to touch on that too.
I gotta get in on this deep policing, man, before we change topic.
Right. Yeah, because I want to get in on this too. Andre love crossing borders with the 40,000 Colombian pesos. Thank you, my brother. Hey, you know what? I might be reaching out to you, man, because Colombia looking like it's gonna be my first trip, man. I might be reaching out to you, Andre, but I'm definitely trying to go to the Barranquilla Festival in February, man. Oh my God.
Oh, please go.
I got it.
Please. Like, I didn't even know that existed when I was in Barranquilla, and then all of a sudden, like, there was like a lot of people one day. I'm like, what's going on? And they're like, it's the fiesta. No, oh my God. I'm like, it's the second largest carnaval compared to Brazil. So yes.
I'm like, yes, I'm definitely going. Trade dividends with the 199 super chat says my wallet, my choice. Damn right. And I catch up with okay. A Peaceful Life with the $10 super chat says great show. The haters don't want to see other men live better than them, get better quality women, or live in peace. Misery likes company.
Yeah, I mean, so one of the guys hit it. I mean, it's always haterade. There's always some, just jealousy. When they see guys making moves that they can't make, they're too nervous to make, or there's always that part. Anytime somebody's going to spend their time to go out of their way to make videos, to talk about what another man is doing, that lets you know that there's some shade there. The second part, he talked about the likes. I think that's true, but I think it's more of the social media simping. It's more of the likes, getting women to like you, getting women to give you attention because you're dogging other men, and it's an easy way to get some simp points for a lot of these dudes, and just kind of join in on that course. And we know that when women hear guys saying stuff that they're saying, they're just going to automatically jump in and ride with them. And I think that's part of it. But I think the other aspect is just ignorance as a man, because they're telling on themselves. You're telling on yourselves that you didn't really have male figures in your life that taught you bro code, that taught you guy code, that you should know better than to be talking about what another man is doing. Now, there's one thing to de-police, there's another thing to maybe de-direct. And so I can see if you're saying, I've been overseas, and for instance, the Philippines, there are some women who are a little bit open, and sometimes they, guys take advantage, and, they can kind of leave a bad name for other guys who have good intentions. And so my thing is not to police anybody, but just to say, just be honest with your intentions. Don't send people off, tell them what you're about, what you're not about. And again, if you got it, you don't have to lie. You're only a player if you're playing people. If you put your intentions out there and they make the choice, that's what it is. So that's the only thing I kind of say to guys, because they're sweet people, they're good people. I don't want it to be where now everybody's got this tainted image when you go there, and they think the guys are just gonna tell them that they're gonna promise them the world, and they're just trying to smash and dash. And so that's fair, that's reasonable, because that's spilling over. But if it's not going to affect me, man, you do what you do. You move how you move. I might move a different way. And if you want to ask me, we can talk about it, but to just blanketly try to tell guys what they should or shouldn't be doing about stuff that these guys have no clue about. That's really the part. You don't even know what you're talking about. Y'all sit down somewhere. I'm done.
All right, go ahead, Mike.
I think it's just that, it's the unknown. Some of these guys who are talking, just they don't know any better. Number one is like, I remember I was in Chicago, and that's all I knew was the city of Chicago, the suburbs and everything like that. And then one day I decided to do a road trip to California, right? And then you experience different type of women in California, different type of feeling. And I come back to Chicago and tell my friends, yo, you guys got to go to California. It's amazing over there. You meet this and that. This was during the late 90s. And guys will always say, oh, I'm going to go over there, but they never go. They never experience that. And sometimes some of these guys, I would say, we'll just say hating, for example, it's because you as a person got a piece of a booklet that allows you to be able to have more options in your hand. Not just women. I always tell guys, don't make the women the main reason why you go to another country. You get a passport because you want to open your mind and expand it. When you do see poor people in developing countries in third world, it will change your perspective on your living when you go back to the US. It just changes it. And a lot of these guys, I think, just, number one is, if we are just talking women, your dating pool opens up. And that's why, in a way, they're like, it's no fair, because they're just projecting their own inner insecurities of the type of women that they can only surround themselves with. And because of that, it's that crab mentality of like, let me pull you down because I know I can't rise up. So I'll rather spew hate so I can pull you back down, so that, and then if we can do this enough, and if we can get the women to join with us as well, because, men who are deciding to go outside the country are being attacked on both sides by their fellow men and also by toxic women. And so with that thing is, it just sucks. But I tell guys, expand your mind, because you'll be surprised. You got to visit at least 2 to 3 different, countries at least. Same thing. If we go back to Chicago, I remember I used to do a lot of work in the South Side, for medical and healthcare and stuff like that. I knew kids who never even crossed I-55 freeway to go to the north side of Michigan Avenue. Michigan Avenue, if you're in the Magnificent Mile, it's completely different 2 miles away down the same exact road. And it's just one of the craziest things to understand, that some guys are not willing to take that step, whether they're scared or because they've been programmed that they should not go there. And, it's just crazy. Like, my best friend never left the city of Chicago. And one day I said, frick it, we're going to the Philippines. And and he didn't want to do it. I said, I paid for his passport. Okay. And then all of a sudden he's like, I don't have the money to buy the tickets. I'm like, you have the money. I make the same money as you do, so I know you can. And he's like, no, he couldn't make sense of it. And so I ended up buying his ticket. I said, pay me monthly for the next 10 months. And then when he went to the Philippines, it changed his freaking mind. He comes back with a different drive, wanted to work more, wanted to experience more. And then all of a sudden he started leveling himself up even more to want to work even harder. It's just the craziest thing that when you do this to people, it really helps them. And some people just don't want other men to succeed. We just know that, and it's unfortunate. And sometimes you just have to leave them behind, because who you are at $100,000 is not going to be the same people when you reach $200,000. You have to get rid of people sometimes, and it just sucks.